Quick shots, coach. First things first. Your ideal meal. If you can make your own plate right now, what's on it? Soul food.
Macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Collard greens.
Yeah.
Ham ribs, fried chicken, something like that.
It's going down.
Yes,
all
yes,
right.
sir.
Dishes or laundry? Which one would you rather do?
Laundry.
All right, cool. Hold up. You like to fold them joints too?
I don't.
I hate that part. That's the part right there. Favorite sport to watch? Not coach, because we know you're a basketball coach. Favorite sport to watch? Is it the same?
College football.
College football? That's where it's at. Main hobby that's not basketball related?
Call of Duty.
Hey, okay. He's staying connected. Last thing, we know you got a young one on the way, getting ready to complete the starting five. What's your preference, boy or girl?
Boy.
Gotta have
Definitely,
a boy?
definitely.
My man. I appreciate it. Now we can get started. You know what I mean? Now here's the deal. I'm looking at your bio. You gave me some information. You told me you've been in this game for 13 years, right?
Yep.
And you're 33. I'm 31. I'm like, dang, dog, he been in the game that long? So how long I been in the game? I think about 9. Yep. And I'm looking at it. You said you spent 5 years coaching ball at Lawton Mac, right?
Yep.
1 year at Nathan Hale in Tulsa, my hometown. 1 year at Noah, which is also in Tulsa. 4 years at PC West. That's where I met you at. Yep. And now you just finished your second year as a head coach at Newcastle.
Yep.
Man, first of all, when did you know you wanted to get into this and start coaching, man? Because I found my passion kind of early. Was it early for you?
It was super early for me, honestly, man. As a kid growing up, I had admirations of going to the NBA.
Straight up.
But the admirations of teaching the game, I've always been a student of the game first. Even when I was younger, I studied basketball. So as a young kid, man, it was more or less, I wanted to go to the NBA, but I really wanted to coach more than. And the funny thing about it, when I was younger, Bobby Knight was kind of like my admiration of coaching. I like to watch Bobby Knight and how crazy he was and just animated he was, but I can always see that, he cared about the kids, you know what I mean? So I was coaching, man. My first coaching gig, I was a sophomore in high school, man. I was coaching football at Geronimo Road for the Geronimo Road Wolfpack. With Coach Thomas Cook and Maldonado, and I coached DBs, 16 years old, 15 at the time, actually.
Is that something that you just kind of stumbled into, or did they come and get you, or did you go for it?
Man, I broke my leg my freshman year, real bad in baseball. So I was out my sophomore year. I couldn't really do much coming off that injury. So I was just around, Coach Cook all the time, and he was coaching football, and I just got there with the boys every day and was doing certain things, and they were just like, man, you kind of know what you're doing. Like you pretty good with the kids. Like you want to help. So it just so happened I just got kind of just. Got myself into that role, and we went from there. You know what I mean? And we were really good. So,
man, being that young, being in an authoritative position, was it ever like a problem for you whenever you had to put that coaching hat on and really get up in somebody your age?
Definitely. Because at the same time, I'm a kid. I'm young, and they understand I'm a kid. They know they're sixth graders, and I'm, not that much older than them, about 3 years, maybe 4 years older than them. And
true that.
So I got some of that, kind of that kickback, but. Coach Cook and Coach Maldonado, they didn't play no games, man. So they
backed you up.
If anything, went down, they was on top of it,
Man.
So I had that backing, which helps a lot.
I feel that. Now, originally, are you from Miami, Florida, right?
Yeah.
Man, tell me about that. How was it spending your time there for however long you were there, and then how in the hell you make the transition all the way up here to Oklahoma? Military, huh?
Military, man. So I like to say I'm from here or from there, but honestly, man. I've been everywhere. You know what I mean? I spent most of my childhood in Lawton, Oklahoma. You know what I mean? So I tell people all the time, I'm from Lawton by way of Miami 305. I say it all. This is just a little joke I say all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but my dad was in the military. I've been to Germany twice, Kansas, Cali, Miami. I've been, you name it, I've been there. So we moved around a lot with my dad from military. So.
Were you born in Miami though?
I actually was born in Fort Ord, California.
Wow.
I was born in Fort Ord. My dad actually was getting stationed somewhere else. I was born, and literally the day after I got out the hospital, we went back to Miami. So I grew up there, semi part of my childhood, and then we had to fly to Germany after that. And then from Germany back to Miami, from Miami back to Germany, then to Kansas, back to Miami.
Man.
You know what I mean? So my last stint in Miami, I was older, and that's where I wanted to stay. I was,
begging my mom,
begging my mom to stay down there, and they wasn't having it, man. My dad came to Oklahoma. He came here before we did to kind of find a house and everything. So I was already in school. So I was like, man, let me just stay down here with my grandma, my uncles.
Yes, I'm straight.
Yeah.
They wasn't having that.
They wasn't having it. I literally thought Oklahoma was like a city inside of another. I didn't know what Oklahoma was. Honestly, I ain't.
Listen, when you done been all those other places that's like elaborate and all that good stuff, you probably look at us with your forehead balled up.
Yeah. And then we flew into Dallas.
True that.
And drove, from Dallas to Lawton. So I got to see all the Red River and all that. I was just like, man, where am I at? It was just bare, just grass, and I'm just like, oh heck no palm trees. So it was different, you know what I mean? But,
true that. But are you the only child, or you got some siblings too?
No, I'm the baby. I have an older brother and an older sister. Yeah, my brother's 38, my sister's 35.
Oh, y'all grew up together then?
Yeah. Oh,
that's what's up, man. Yeah. So I mean, but a couple things. Number one, how was that dynamic with y'all in the crib, man? Was it a whole lot of scrapping, a whole lot of furniture rearranging?
Definitely.
Man, good deal. With you being a baby, man, were they protective of you, or did they just pick on you?
Both ways. Listen, outside of the house, you couldn't mess with me.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? In the house, they just wore me out. I used to tell the story all the time. I get starch. I grew up, my mom, my people was like, man, if you can't get it, you better find a way to get them. Yeah. I don't care how you do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they were bigger than me, older than me. For some reason, they always double team me. I don't know why.
Oh, that's cool.
So, I used to get air freshener, try to spray it in their eyes, starch. It ain't matter what it was, man. Just to get them off me.
I'm fighting for my life in here, man. Yeah. That's
but
big.
It was fun, man.
Yeah. What's y'all's relationship like these days, man?
My sister just left. That's why she just left my house. She been there for 3 days.
See, that's dope.
You know what I mean? We still tight. She come up. My nephews come up all the time. So we tight.
That's good, man. I can tell you got a personality that meshes well with a lot of people. You know what I mean? With all different types of personalities. But I can imagine it'd be kind of like difficult for a youngster doing all that moving to really make connections. You know what I mean? Was it tough for you, or did you make friends everywhere you went?
Man, my personality I'm a goofy, man. I'm kind of people that know me, I'm goofy, man. I get serious at times. It was a running joke when I first started coaching. They used to call me Two-Face.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because off the court, you know what I mean? I was the guy everybody wanted to be. I'm cool. As soon as we hit the hardwood, it was on and popping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
flip that switch.
I've always had that personality. I've never had a problem making friends. Man. Everywhere I've went, man, it's just I've been blessed. The first day I got to Lawton, Oklahoma, I met one of my best friends, Clifton Howard. You know what I mean? So it was. Everywhere I went, I've been able to meet friends.
You remember how old you were whenever you got to Lawton?
Man, I was, 13.
Oh, man.
I think I was 13.
That's a pivotal age right there, too. You know what I mean? Body changing, you getting perspective and all of that. Yeah. Now, did you touch down and immediately got right to the ball?
No, actually, in Germany, you can't play, football until you're like 7th or 8th grade. You know what I mean? So only thing we had in Germany was basketball.
True
until you got to a certain age. I don't even remember us having flag football until 7th grade or something like that.
Not even flag, huh?
Nah, when I got here, it was already, I want to say it's October, almost November.
True that.
You know what I mean? So I had already started school in Miami, trying to play football there because I had never played before. So I got here, and I was at Sweeney, what they call BC Sweeney, and a really good football team. And first day of school, we was just out recess. All I did was play outside. We played football. We grew up playing football, basketball outside. I stayed outside from 8 in the morning till the street lights came on.
Didn't care.
Didn't care. So I knew how to play football. I just ain't never played with pads, so it was different. Mm-hmm. So we playing in recess, and I'm catching, footballs, and they're like, man, you need to come play football. So I'm like, y'all can play football. I'm in sixth. I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
So I was 12 when I got here.
So
I was in 6th grade, and so I went home to my pops. I said, man, Dad, I want to play football. And I was like, they can play football down here their age. I was like, yeah, they told me they play football right now. They been playing. So, man, my dad took me to practice. And long story short,
in the middle of the season, pretty much?
I actually got there the day before. The day I got there, the next day was their first game of the season.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So I got there kind of, I got there, my first practice was the day after the first game.
Oh, so they let you on there.
So I was able to go watch them play. I went out there, my dad's like, let's go out here and make sure this is what you want to do. And, you know what I mean? Yeah, they let me on, man. That's some of my best friends. That day.
Man, now when you got to playing, did you pick up on it? You took to it pretty quickly?
Man, I did, but I was scared as hit. I was scared to hit, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was different.
Scared to hit or scared to get hit?
I was scared to hit. I ain't tripping on getting hit. To me, that don't hurt as much. Like,
wow. I ain't never heard that before.
When I was playing, when I was that age, it was almost like if you finna hit me, I know how to. I can move and brace myself, or you know what I'm saying, to where it doesn't hurt as hard.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? So I never understood like hitting hurts less than getting hit.
Yeah.
At that age, I played wide receiver and I played safety. So
both ways, baby.
Both ways, and I was what they call arm tackle or a thrower, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? You ain't getting past me, but I ain't finna lay no lick on you.
I got you.
Grab you, spin you around, whatever I got to do to get you down. So at that age, man, I ain't never played before, man.
True that.
So, I mean, a lot of times, my first time out there, I think I played kickoff or something like that. And, you know what I mean? The first person came at me, I was like, oh, man.
I'm going to deal with this.
This is real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
don't tell me he ran you over, Jesse.
Nah, I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
He probably did. Man, listen, they got some, man, we got some, my friends got so many stories to tell about that. I don't really know much about or remember much about it, but
yeah, you
know, it was a blast. You know, and I remember when I started getting into it, it became easier for me, you know what I mean? So
did you play? Were you able to play both ways pretty much your whole football career at every level? Even through middle school and high school?
Middle school I played both ways. I didn't play high school at all.
Oh, really?
I didn't play.
That's when
I was done.
That's where you found the love for the rock?
Yeah. I kind of, after my freshman year, I broke my leg playing baseball. See, baseball was probably one of my first loves outside of basketball. I love baseball.
Straight up.
I broke my leg in baseball, and then after that, I was like, man, I ain't jeopardizing nothing else, man. I just want to, you know, I had to sit out that sophomore year. You know, man, I couldn't play. I couldn't even. I could barely run. You know, I tried out there. I could barely run, get down the court. You know, so it took a big toll on me. You know what I mean? I had to gain some weight. You know, I wasn't as fast as I usually was. I wasn't as athletic.
Did you go through that patch where you didn't trust it for a while?
Oh, for a long time. You know,
that's scary,
man.
Man.
I had a spiral fracture on my tibia. You know what I mean? So my whole shin, right? You know what I mean? It was bad. You know, and I was in the cast for so long that when I got out of it, you know, I didn't trust the leg. But in the same sense, my ankle was so stiff. Like it took me 4 or 5 months to work the ankle pain out. You know what I mean? It felt like I broke my ankle more than it felt like I broke my leg. So it was tough.
Damn, dog. I don't wish that on nobody.
Yeah,
man.
it was tough.
Well, I know you remember how you did it. Like, what'd you do?
Man,
Sliding?
I was sliding in the second base, man. You know, when you, maybe I'm saying this wrong. I don't know. When the pitcher sets up to throw the ball, and when he gets set here, that's when you take off. You know, but you know, my coach was calling signals. He wipes it off. You know, I tag back up. You know, lead off again. He wipes it off. So then I was pretty fast. You know what I mean? So he throws it, and he says, "Go!" I take off, and we were playing Altus. We was playing Altus, Altus Bulldogs, and I slid, and the shortstop was standing over top of me, and I went under his legs, and my cleat caught the back of his cleat, and it just you know, it snapped. The ump said he can hear a pop.
Yeah,
but when you see my leg, like it didn't swell, nothing. It didn't look bad at all.
But
so you know, I'm screaming and hollering, and my coach like, "Hey man, you gotta chill. Like, ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, chill. You probably got a bad sprain." I was like, "Nah, man." Coach. I said, "Coach, I felt it break." You know, so I got to got to the hospital, and it was my sister's birthday. Her, I want to say 15th or 16th birthday.
Yeah.
That night we supposed to go out and actually had a big party, and we stayed in the emergency room from 4 o'clock to about 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, man.
But thankfully, I ain't had to have no surgery, no place put in and nothing like that.
I just knew you. I just knew that was the next chapter.
Yeah.
Nah.
They put like a plaster cast on it, let it sit for a while to see how it would grow, and it started going back good. So they just let it go back by itself. I haven't had a problem with it since. So.
Oh, it just took a minute though.
Oh yeah. Took a long while.
Now, out of all three of those sports, basketball, baseball, and football, which one would you say you were best at? Not necessarily which one was your favorite, but which one were you most gifted at?
Ooh, that's tough.
And that sucker must have been cold at all of them.
No. Nah. I would say basketball.
Okay.
In a sense of I loved it, man. You know what I mean? I loved it.
You always loved it more than the other two?
Yeah.
That's solid.
I did. I think if I'd have stuck with football, I'd have been pretty good at football. Football came kind of easy to me. I think I was an average, junior high player. But I played after after high school. My friend Eddie Shaw, man, he made me a bet. They had these little semi-pro football teams.
Yes, sir.
In Lawton, we had the Lawton Rebels for a while, and then when I was coming through, they changed it to the Duncan Demons, and he bet me. He's like, man, you won't come out there and play. I hadn't played football since 9th grade. You know what I mean?
You well removed from that.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, football is not hard to me. It's not. I went out there and played the whole season. Started at DN and at receiver, then drop a pass the whole season.
Hey, were they coming to you?
Oh yeah, my best friend was a quarterback. You know what I mean?
There you go. Chemistry right there, Chief.
And we didn't win many games with that team, but to me, playing in that, it wasn't as hard. And these are guys that played in college.
Right.
You know, some of these guys played the Arkansas team. He played. Some of these guys played in the pros.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was out there holding my own.
That's solid.
Because I think basketball is a little tougher.
It's a little tougher.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I think it's a little tougher.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to ask you about football, like whenever you went out there to play semi-pro football, was it only because he kind of dared you or tested your manhood to see if you would, or was it like a chapter left that you were like, I need to write this last?
Man, honestly, because I used to go out there and play flag football with them all the time.
Yeah.
Like I've always grew up playing multiple sports. Like I just like playing sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go out there and play softball.
Yeah,
you know, it didn't matter. So some of it was that the dare for me to come out there, but then some of it was my mouth because I used to always tell him, man, come on, bro, it ain't that hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't out there, doing this, and y'all ain't out there doing that.
Now you got to back it up.
So he like, man, all right, come out there. You know, and between me and him, our whole relationship is always, that's how I met him. Right. At the gym, talking crap to him.
Yeah.
Going at him at the gym. That's how we met. We became best friends. Matter of fact, that day we got into it at the gym.
Yeah.
We started arguing over just stupid stuff. I've never met this dude a day in my life.
Yeah, straight strangers going at
it. And then we started talking about video games for some odd reason. And we both played NCAA football.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, I'm like, I would kill you. Like, I played it all the time. That day, he came to my house, we played NCAA. I beat him once, he beat me once.
Straight up.
And ever since then, bro, to this day.
Just tight.
My best friends. Like, it's so a lot of it was that bet, but a lot of it was that, I think, that void. I was like, man, I wish I would have played, football coming up through high school. And,
right.
All the other stuff. So
when it comes to basketball, were you one of the, I heard you say it took a little more work for you to become a player than it did in football. Yeah. Like, would you say that you were one of those kids that had the work ethic since it didn't come naturally to you, or did you have to have somebody with his foot in your ass?
I had work. I think I had pretty good work ethic, honestly. One thing I hated for people to score on me. That was number one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I hated to be embarrassed. I hated for people to score on me.
Right.
And then I always felt like kind of where I grew up at, a lot of coaches gave a lot of props to the guys that came through junior high, was the man through junior high. You know what I mean? They was, my 8th grade year, I played some. I didn't play a ton. But I was one of the hardest workers on the team. You know what I mean? One of the most talented by far.
Right.
But then my 9th grade year, we get a new coach in, Coach Green, which to this day is probably one of my favorite coaches of all time. He came from Cameron University. He's at college the year before.
There you go.
He came down. He coached us. And he just brought a whole new aspect of the game, man. Like a lot of stuff that we didn't know. Because before he got there, we had a coach named Mike Turner, who was really good. Everybody loved him, but he ended up leaving.
Yeah.
That year, my year going to 9th grade. So when Coach Green got there, man, he just brought a whole new aspect. It wasn't he don't care what you did the year before. Like, he don't care who you are.
Clean slate, baby.
Oh, man, what you do in practice, how you work is what's going to show. You know what I mean? So when I got him, it was, I fell in love with the game again. I fell in love with coaching. Like, just watching him, how he treated us and how he pushed us to get better and how he disciplined us.
Right.
And I think that he kind of turned that switch on for me a little bit. You know what I mean? And then, of course, I get injured. At the end of that year.
Boom. Set you back a little bit.
But I felt like I've always had that work ethic. I was never the most skilled. I had to work harder than most people.
True that.
You know what I mean? I did a lot of stuff in the dark. You know what I mean? So
in the empty gym.
Yeah.
I like that. Were you the type that could take any style of coaching? Could you be coached hard and
I
still
wanted
go out
to be
there?
coached hard, honestly,
okay.
man. The coach I had in high school, he was there for a while. We had talent.
Yeah. That always helps.
I don't think our system worked for us at all. I think our tallest person was 6'4", 6'5", maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about we playing 6A basketball. I went to Lawton High, so we ran a high-low offense, which we don't have a traditional big to throw the ball inside.
Right.
Our best big was my friend Clifton Howard. He was 6 foot. You know what I mean?
Wow. And that was just his skill set? He just played
knew
bigger?
how to work. He knew how to, he averaged 15, 16 points a game.
Oh, that's getting it done.
But he was a big body, played defensive line at Langston.
See?
But, my summer team, right after I got injured, I got around a guy named Thomas Cook. He started a program called Oklahoma Explosion. And then his brother Rodney came from, which they're from Florida too, but his brother came down from Maryland.
Right.
And stayed with him. And then his other brother Chauncey, they kind of brought a whole new aspect of how to play the game. Like, that's where I learned, 94 feet, Like we didn't do that when I was like we played shell man-to-man defense.
Yeah.
Like when I was in 8th grade, we
Straight
played
half court
shell
man.
man-to-man defense. Coach Green, he taught us denial. He taught us help. He taught us how to get in the gap. He taught us like a pressure 2-3 zone. But when Rod came down here with Coach Cook and them, that's when I learned how to play 94.
Yeah.
94 feet man-to-man, hard denial. 2-2-1. Full court press. Because that's how we played on his AU team. You know what I mean? So when I got to high school, our junior senior year, it wasn't like that, man. It was we played slow and we should have played fast.
True that.
You know what I mean? So the coaching aspect of being hard, like, man, to me, nobody was harder than Rodney or Coach Cook.
On you.
You know what I mean? Those outside of Coach Green's discipline. Because Coach Green was disciplined. He know how to discipline you without really yelling at you. Like,
got you.
Like, he demanded that respect.
Right.
And you understood. But this just aura of himself.
He had that presence.
Knew what it was. Oh, you knew what it was.
Yeah.
Like, you knew he didn't play.
Right.
Rodney was a little different. Rodney, his he played through his energy. He kind of like Coach Burt. Lenny Burt reminded me of Rodney a lot.
Burt, yeah.
You know what I mean? He had that. Like, so it made me, I was like, man, this is what I want to do right here.
You need that.
This is how you supposed to play.
Right.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know about basketball, like in that aspect of the game. He brought that to us. And to me, I was like, all right, this is where, and some other coaches, like when I was in 7th and 8th grade, Coach James Suttles and Coach Clifton Howard Sr., they kind of had us get after it. We got after it with them too.
True that.
But I left that, went back to a different system, then went back to a whole different system.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Expanding your whole portfolio, man.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yeah, I like that. Because I want to be, I'm a challenge person, man. If you challenge me, I'm going to do everything I can to prove you wrong. To this day.
Trying to rise up to
this day. If you challenge me to this day, I'm going to do everything I can to prove you wrong and show you that you don't know what you're talking about. And that's just me. So
I like that. You just got to keep coming until you figure it out.
Yeah.
Now, man, I always love to talk about the disciplinary aspect of it, whether it's the fam or, your parents showing you what it's like, or if it's your coaches or teachers. But one thing I think gets left out whenever folks are talking about the plight when we talk about discipline is, can you remember if or how your coaches let it be known to you, okay, coach actually does love me though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do they ever show you the other side? They own you, foot in your ass. But do they ever let you know, hey, brother, I like what you're doing, or you're doing well?
Nah. I can't remember. I can't remember too many instances in high school.
Yeah, but did you need it though?
Nah. I didn't. Honestly, I didn't care for it. You know what I mean? I got to my senior year. I got to a part of my life to where at the beginning of the year, I felt like he didn't really much like me. You know what I mean?
On a personal level.
But I brought a lot of that to myself. I was rebellious in the fact that my junior year, we had 9-10 seniors. I want to say my junior year.
That's
so I suited up varsity maybe the last 5 games of the season. You know what I mean? But he was always one of those that, hey man, you work your tail off. JV. You do this, you do that. You know what I mean? You gonna move. So I'm out there killing myself in JV. I'm working
going hard.
I'm hooping.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
not to be denied.
Which it didn't happen. Cool. I understood. So then I come in my senior year, but I didn't come in with the right mind frame. I came in with that mind frame. All right, I showed them what I could do last year. Let me go out here and just do, get by. I wasn't really working hard. And then he pulled me in the office one day, and I love him for this. He told me straight up. He's like, man, listen, this is how I'm looking at it right now. I don't think you're really in tune to what we're trying to do. So I'm gonna probably play these sophomores over you, and get them ready for the next couple of years. And when he said that to me, it kind of like hit home. Like, all right, man, like I gotta get back, like kind of just doing. So after that, the next day, I didn't talk to nobody in practice. I did stretching. I just started working, man. I started working on my game. Defensively, I wasn't trying to let nobody score on me.
Right.
Changed my shot, started knocking down shots.
Yeah.
Then eventually I started,
See, it
is.
You just started working.
I just started working people, man.
Hey, man, what do you think would have happened today if a kid was in the same spot that you just described? The coach brought him in there and kept it 100 with him. What happens today versus back then? You know what I mean?
And in every situation is different.
That's true.
But the normal kid these days, their parents will be in your office tomorrow.
Yeah.
I grew up with it.
Or the kid might just quit, bro.
Quit.
I'm pulling out.
My pops was in the military, so a lot of times, I tell people all the time, I literally feel like I taught myself how to play basketball, like the basic skills of the game.
Right.
My dad was in war. Desert Storm, Bosnia. Iraq. You know, it's like every 2 years he was gone. Korea, he
Right.
was gone for 14, 15, 16 months at a time. You know, and he's a great provider. You know, my dad played football and basketball, and when he could, he taught me a lot of things that he could. But a lot of times when he was gone, it was me at the park, me and my brother.
True
You
that.
know what I mean? We didn't have YouTube and none of that
Nah.
to learn. So I watched Michael Jordan on TV, Allen Iverson on TV, and I just try to mimic. You know,
Everything,
we didn't have access. I didn't have access to a trainer, you know, a gym. We played outside. That's what we did. I don't think I played into a gym outside of a regulation game until probably my 9th grade year when I got to Four Seals, when I started going on base, hooping with the older guys and hooping with the, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But other than that, man, and still then, we still hooped outside.
It's just something about that, man.
You know what
Even
I mean?
today, whenever, like, if I'm out at a park or something, or I'm outside in, like, a parking lot and I'm shooting hoops, I'm like, damn, I got some nostalgia right here.
It feels, to
Take
me,
you back.
hooping outside, I love hooping indoors, but hooping outside as a youngster, man, it was different, man. To me, it was, the love of the game was different. You know what I mean? It was, you got to know how to, like, the wind may be blowing a certain type of, like, it was.
Gotta learn how to shoot
man,
them
it was
or
just
get to the
different,
rim.
man.
The chain nets, no
Yeah.
nets,
Oh,
cotton
man.
nets. I mean,
Yeah.
you name it, the red, white, and blue joints.
Yep.
I'm like, man, that's just, hey, man, you just took me back right there. You know what I mean?
But to answer your question, man, I think a lot of kids, man, either quit or their parents have been off and trying to figure out why you said that to their kid. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's why I said I love him for that. You know, he was being real. Like he saw that I wasn't really like, oh, you out here just
Did you
thinking I
agree
owe
with
you
him?
something.
Did you agree with him right then in that moment?
I ain't say nothing. You know,
No, in your mind, were you like, damn, he's speaking
Nah,
some truth?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
In my mind, I was like, man, you made me like this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You showed me every day that, you know, certain people have a, you know, which is fine.
Mm.
But I went home and I kind of, you know, sat in my room, was like, man, do you want to play or you don't want to play? You know,
right.
I want to play. You know, I talked to Coach Cook and Coach Rob. My dad was actually in Iraq at the time.
True that.
You know, I talked to my pops about it. And he's just like, man, you got to go work your butt off. Work your ass off is what he told me. But
Straight
you know
up.
what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then Coach Cook told me the same thing. You know, because at the time, it bothered me because I was supposed to move and go to Lawton Mac my senior year. But I begged my dad. I was like, listen, man, I can't go my senior. Like, everybody, Herb, Cheese, BK, Rob, Maurice, you know what I'm saying? Everybody I grew up with, Derek, we all grew up from
don't do this
junior
to me,
high.
man.
Like, come on, man. Like, this is our senior year. And I
Right.
mean, we just came off a pretty successful AU season. Like, we beating everybody.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So we like, man, we finna go into the season. You know, we had 10 guys on our AU team. 7 of them went to Lawton High. We all went to school together. So we like, man, we finna, and then we got the young David Dixon coming up.
Right.
You know, we got Deron, Ty MacArthur. You know, we got guys coming up that's younger, and then, you know, they're gonna help us get to where we trying to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
And-
ideal, man. Even with the climate today, with people picking up and leaving, and you know, and just buddying up with their friends, I never
Yeah.
hear 7
Yeah.
that played in the summer
That's
playing
what
at
I'm
the same
saying.
school.
It wasn't
Damn.
unheard of, you know. And then I had other guys like my homeboy Nate, Big Nate, you know. And just so me, it was all to a sense of me. It was, those are my guys, man. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looking back on it now, it probably was the best move.
For you to go to Mac,
It probably was the best move for me to go to Mac my senior year.
but you
You know
didn't
what I
go
mean?
though.
I
right?
didn't.
Okay.
I
Probably
did. My
like,
dad
all
didn't
right.
make me go. You know what I mean? And I stuck it out. You know, but to me, everything I went through at that time frame, man, kind of made me who I am today. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it was all
worth
it was all for some reason. But at that time, as a kid, I didn't understand.
True that.
You know, I thought everybody had it out for me. You know, the whole nine. You know what I mean? So
Sometimes as you grow, you grow. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely.
And I say this all the time, like, damn, I wish I had this knowledge back then
Oh.
that I got now. That's why they call it life, though, right?
and then when you try to spit it to the youngsters,
You may as well not even do it.
it's hard because I'm like, dude, I know what's gonna happen.
I know what's going to happen.
Like I see the inroad of this situation,
I've seen this
but
episode.
you ain't listening to me.
You don't hear
But yeah, I was that kid too.
That's
I didn't
right.
listen to everything everybody told me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
I guess we got to rest assured that at some point they're going to figure it out.
yeah, they'll figure it out.
You know what I mean? When they
Yeah.
come back and be like, Coach, man, what you said, that was
Yeah.
right.
And just hope. I just pray it ain't too late. That's what I always
Pray it
say. I
ain't
just
too
pray it
late.
ain't too late when you figure it out.
That's
I
right.
just pray it ain't too late for you, man.
That's a fact. And something else you told me that I didn't know about, said you had an opportunity to keep your career going
Yeah.
even after high school, but, you know, you ended up
Yeah.
having a baby on the way, and then
Yeah.
you had to do some grown man stuff. Take me through that, man. What
Yeah,
was that
man, it's
experience
just,
like?
Like I said, there's a lot of things people told me growing up that I didn't listen to. You know, I was young. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? fresh. You know what I mean?
Good word.
Love girls.
Yeah,
you know, I
yeah.
just, you know, and to this day, we're married. You know what I mean? It's my high school sweetheart. You know what I mean?
Beautiful thing,
We
man.
still together. We got 4 kids, 1 on the way. You know, and it was a real tough time for me, man, because, you know, I felt like I was really starting to come to in the game of basketball, starting to figure it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And where I was at, man, basketball, college-wise, wasn't talked about like that. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't really have that person, you know, out here working to get you in school. You know, we didn't have that. You know what I mean? So it was a little different. You know, so when I first heard, you know, that I could have opportunity to go play JUCO or whatever it may be, I was like, you know, what's JUCO?
Yeah.
You know, like, I didn't really
even
even,
same way,
you know,
dog.
know what JUCO, like 2-year college, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, to me, I was on a high, personally. You know, I just came off. Actually, the day it happened was we were playing Eisenhower, which Eisenhower is our, you know, rival.
True that.
You know, and we're playing good. And, you know, I think I had like 13 or 14 points in the first half.
Got off to a
You
good
know,
start.
and we ended up beating them. You know,
True
we
that.
ended up beating them. It was and actually we had to play it in you know, the Coliseum because, you know, traditionally Lawton High Eisenhower games is held, you know, at the gym.
Right.
But man, it got so packed to where people couldn't get in. You know, it was at capacity, so they put it into what they call a Coliseum. It's like you know, it's a pretty big gym in that area.
Nice little neutral
You know
site.
what I mean? So, you know, front of the newspaper, you know, I'm on high. You know, 2 days later, you know, I get this information. You know, she's just like, man, listen, you know, I think I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know, at the time, you just like, nah, man, nah.
He said, nah.
No, we ain't doing this. You know, man, so
Golly.
long story short, man, it was true.
True that.
You know what I mean? And to this day, man, it haunts me sometimes. You know, my daughter's beautiful. She's 15 years old. She's a sophomore in
Man.
Newcastle with me.
That's a trip.
Plays basketball. And, you know, I wouldn't give her up for the world, bro. It's just, you know, that time I won't say I was in a dark place because I wasn't in a dark place, but I was emotions everywhere.
Right.
You know, I don't think I slept for about 3-4 days.
Man.
You know what I mean? And it's having to tell my mom, you know what I mean? And just,
Was her reaction as bad as you thought it was going to be?
I'll tell you this is how it happened, man. And, you know, it's kind of a punk move, but, you know, I really respect my mom, and I think highly of my mom,
Yeah.
you know, and my dad as well. But I wrote a letter. You know, my wife, at the time, I was like, man, listen, man, you can't tell nobody. Don't even tell your mom. But how we planned it off, we was going to tell them at the same time.
Tell both of y'all's parents at the same time? Okay.
You know, tell them at the same time.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? We even thought about getting them in the same room. I was like, nah, we get them in the same room. Then they know
They
something's
gonna know
going
something
on.
going on.
You know what I mean? But somehow her mom finds out. You know what I mean? And,
A
and
little leakage.
how my mom is, and my parents is, if something happened, you better come tell me
Yeah,
before somebody else tell me.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's in school. You get in trouble in school. Something happened in the streets.
Let me know.
If something happened, you better find a way to tell me before they tell me. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
So she told me that. I said, man, golly. So that night, I wrote a letter, long letter, whatever it may be. I put it on my mom's nightstand. And my mom did in-home daycare. So I was like, man, I know she's going to be up and about. You know, so I don't know if I rode with Randon that day. I think I got on the bus that day. Got on the bus, get to school, totally forget about everything.
Wow.
You know what I
So
mean?
you thinking you good?
I
He's like, I got it off my heart.
totally forgot about it. It was like a relief. Like, okay,
True
cool. I'm going through the day. You know, I'm in art class, and over the intercom, Mr. Christensen is his name, art teacher. It's like, we need Jessie Brown to the main office. And right then, it was like,
You knew exactly.
I was like, oh, snap. So I go towards the main office and how the school is built.
Did you know it was mom, or do you think it was pops, or do you
I
think
ain't
it was
know
both?
who it was.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I thought it was my mama. You know,
Okay,
my
cool.
dad at work. My mom, I'm like, she probably put the kids in the van and then got up
We
here.
rolling.
So I go down the hallway and then I make a right. When you make a right, it's like a long hallway. Man, it's probably 100 yards.
Yeah.
Long hallway by the main office. But I turn that corner and I see a military uniform.
Oh.
So
snap.
I'm just like, oh, man, this
No.
is a wrap.
Hold on. Did you stop in your tracks for just a quick
Oh,
little
yeah,
moment?
it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So I'm walking, you know. So I get to walking. I'm right by the main office, and this, you know, a security guard always stands right there. So I'm like, all right, I'm good. He ain't gonna get after me right here.
You
Like,
like, ask me in front of the authorities.
and man, and this is what took everything and put it in a whole new perspective for me with my pops. Man, he was just like, first word he said, man, he was like, man, why you ain't tell me? And I was like, man, how do I, you know what I'm saying, tell you something like this? I'll tell mom something like this. His exact words, he said, hey, man, don't worry about it. You know, man, focus on basketball, focus on your schoolwork. And, you know, when the baby get here, we'll take care of it. You know, he's like, you know, I don't believe in, you know, abortions, anything like that. He's like, you manned up, you made this happen. You gonna man up, you gonna take care of it. And that was it.
That's all you need, huh?
That's all he said. And I was there like, that's it? So he left. I went back, told my girl at lunch what happened. You know what I mean? So that's my dad. I'm like, all right, cool. That's, you know, my dad, I'm like, I would have felt like he would have been the one.
He'd have been a
that
bad
would have been
cop.
outraged. Like,
Right.
man, what you doing? Like, you ruining it, you know? And
True
he
that.
wasn't. He kind of just, like, in that moment, to me, it put him on a higher pedestal because he was like, hey, man, listen, it is what it is. Like, we can't do nothing about it now. You know what I mean? But I get home, and my mom's, you know, she did hair and nails on the side. I get home, she's doing one of her ladies' nails in the kitchen. I walked through the door, and she just cut her eyes at me.
And went right
Kept
back
doing, didn't say nothing to me, didn't talk to me. I was
You already knew what that was about, huh?
man. Yeah, so our talk was good too. She was just like, man, I knew something was going on. She's like, I've been emotional for the last week. And my mom was, you know, she big in the church. She's been, you know, saved for 20-something years.
For sure.
She's like, I've been praying and just been crying. And I don't know what it was. She said, but I knew it was something. You know, I didn't know what it was, but so
it was on her.
Yeah. So it just, man, it was. I say it was a beautiful mistake, man. You know, it made me grow up fast, way faster than I wanted to. It didn't let me, you know, I going back looking at it now, you know, I could have pursued a lot more things. At the time, my mind frame, man, you know, I was the first person to graduate from college in my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, my parents ain't, hey, you can go to college and do this and do this.
Right.
And then you know, they were just like,
they gave you what they could.
it's time to man up. You know, you gotta take care of your business. You know what I mean? You gotta take care of your daughter. You know, you had it, we didn't.
There you
know,
go.
you gotta find a way, you know, to handle up. So that way I did it, you know, and it haunts me to this day still, but I chose to go the military route. You know what I mean? And to this day, it's one of the best decisions of my life.
Man, because I know you got some military, some experiences, some story. But before we jump into that, we got to jump into I don't even want to say what's hot right now, but what's annoying the hell out of everybody right now. We got this coronavirus. The Rona, man. It's like, and I got mixed, well, I can't say I got mixed feelings, but maybe about 3 or 4 days ago, I had mixed feelings. I'm like, are we overreacting?
Right.
I mean, are we just following a trend or what? But it seemed like the majority of the world, so to speak, is trying to go into seclusion and just shut down.
Right.
Like, man, what you been doing with your time now that we done been having to be shut off?
Oh, man. If anybody know me, I'm a busybody, man. I don't like sitting down.
So much
I gotta be on the move.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's tough right now because if you look at everything that's going on, man, I can sit back because I'm one of those guys. I'm gonna sit back, man. It ain't that serious, man. Like, golly, you know, anthrax, swine flu,
right?
H1N1, whatever, all these different things.
Right.
The new millennium when the world was supposed to end.
Yeah.
Like
everybody buying water.
People going underground. We've been through so much stuff that in a sense you almost like it's a hoax again. Like it's like what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
You know, with swine flu wasn't a hoax. People died from that. You know,
right.
There's people that died from this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I start looking at what about these people that's got to make these decisions? What about these these medical examiners and these experts, you know what I mean? If they come out here and say it ain't as bad as you think it is, and it really is, then what? You know what I'm saying?
Then we gonna be killing them.
You know what I mean? Then everybody going crazy. But so you got to think in their shoes, I would do the same thing.
True that.
I'm gonna say it's worse than what it really is, just because if it is that worse, I told you, this was gonna happen. I can't say, you know, this is not almost like Katrina. Like when they can't come out, man, this is gonna be the worst hurricane you've seen.
Right.
You know, some people was like, man, come on, man, we heard that before.
Like, all right,
it came through. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with this. You know, it's not. You know, I personally don't feel it's as bad as, you know, it seems. But
could be wrong.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. Now, have you been doing anything like, I guess, outlandish in terms of, you know, trying to take precautions and be safe? Man, you still living?
I wash my hands a little more than I usually do.
There you go.
That's about it. I still touch my face and all, man. I can't help that, man. That's just,
it's
like, you know what I mean? I kind of try to keep my hands to myself. I try not to, You know, I still clap people hands, shake people hands. I ain't, man, listen.
You know, I mean, I've been hearing terms I ain't never heard put together before, like the social distancing.
Yeah. 30 feet away.
I don't mean to make light of it, but like, you know, I show love to people I know. So it's just a natural. I'm gonna bring it in, show you some love, and I'd have a hard time being like, hey, hey. You know what I mean?
I done been to 1, 2, 3 restaurants since they done shut everything down. Like I just,
same here. Bro, I gotta eat.
I ain't stop. To me, I'm not gonna stop living, man. I ain't gonna stop living.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take some precautions here and there just to kind of make sure we healthy. You know, but a lot of it is, you know, I think if you're healthy, it ain't gonna stop you from getting it, but it'll help you fight it.
That's
you know what I mean? If your immune system's good enough, you know, strong enough, you ain't got too much to worry about. You know what I mean? So
that's a fact. I like the way you broke that down. Yeah. Now we got to get back to the business, because you posted something the other day on Facebook, man. I was reading it and I thought it made damn good sense. I'm gonna let you break it down. What would be your proposed solution to resuming the state basketball tournament that has gotten it's just postponed at this point? They haven't used the word canceled just yet, and I'm glad for that. But let's say if we're able to come back to school on April the 6th, that seems to be the date right now, and we're gonna try to continue this state tournament. How would you break it down, man?
First of all, okay, since they're saying we can't come back to April 6th, which is what
was that, roughly 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks now. About 2, maybe 3 weeks. Cool. I would personally say, well, before that, you know, start practicing. Whatever you need to do to get prepared.
Right.
And I think a big solution for it is, if you don't want big crowds, find neutral sites. You know what I mean? 2A. Well, who ain't played yet? 3A?
Yeah.
2A through 6A.
3A. Yeah, 2A all
2A
the way
through
up.
6A, right?
A and B the only ones done.
Yeah, 2A through 6A. Find neutral sites. And the post I did was for 50 people. You know, it just is, to me, because I think when you look at it, I think a lot of times we make stuff harder than what it really is.
Fair
like
enough.
We could have knocked this out. It could have been done with. Like when it first started, when they came and said, hey, no more than 250 people, cool, boom, we got it.
We got it. That's capacity.
Let's knock it out. That's capacity. 250 is capacity. Let's go ahead and get these kids playing. Now, guess what? At the end of the day, I may come to you and say, hey, coach, hey, man, we playing tomorrow. We're going to start this tournament tomorrow. Y'all may want to get in the gym today and figure some things out, and then we're going to go play. Because guess what? Everybody had the same notice you had.
Yep.
Let's go play.
Yeah. It's not hard on anybody else.
Yeah, it's not hard on anybody. Let's go play. You know, but in a sense, when it came with the 50 people deal, you know, I said 2 teams, give each team 20 tickets. That's 40. So you got 15 kids, you know, 3 coaches, whatever you got, 4 coaches, that's 19 plus 1.
Right.
You know, it may not be no parents in the stands. It is what it is.
It what it is.
You know what I mean?
We came this far. We got to
2020, somebody at the door, somebody at the concession, 2 bookkeepers, 3 refs. That's 49 people.
There you go.
49.
Quick
math. 49 play it. You know, and you can even go as far as put somebody in each location to go, you know, live stream or something like that. You know, because, you know, they have capabilities of doing that. Right. You know what I mean? So now if I still want to get that, you know, that door money, well, guess what? Every game's going to be live on FHS, NFHS.
Ooh.
$7 or $6, whatever it is.
I like that.
You pay right there, you watch the game live.
NFHS. All the coaches in there, we got to go to that site anyway.
Now, if we ain't got enough cameras or whatever it may be, guess what? All championship games will be live. You know, because at the end of the day, it's about the kids playing.
That's right.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it ain't about, you want the fans there.
Yeah, we love the atmosphere, but
it's about the kids playing, man.
Yeah, they got a lot of skin in the game at this point.
Like, man, my fear is you get to the point to where we can't have it. Now, you're looking at guys that are seniors, you know, guys that are, you know, working their tails off to get to this highlight of their career.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's kids that ain't never made it here before.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
And some of them are like right on the bubble of being like, they may be good enough and talented enough to play beyond this senior year, but they got to go out.
They got to go out in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They got to go in the playoffs because coaches coming out there.
That's right.
JUCOs, you got a lot of JUCOs that are done right now that are coming out to watch. You got a lot of coaches coming out to watch. So that helps, you know, in all aspects of the game. You know, so I know there's some people looking outside, looking in, and like, well, it ain't that serious. You know, it's just postponed or just canceled basketball. You know, but it's to basketball people, we know it's more than that.
Way more.
It's way more. You know, it's way more. You talking about vehicles that can take kids to different areas in their life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
To get them out of the circumstances that they come from. You know how it is.
Yeah.
It's rough out here. But then you got the flip side of that. Well, not the flip side, but let me ask you this. then this is just, taking a shot in the dark. Because, ordinarily 5A and 6A, their state tournament is on the east side in Tulsa, and everybody below them over here on the west. How would you break that up? Would you have them all on one side, or would you split them the same way?
Man, I would literally, you can split them the same way. As long as to me, as long as it's a neutral site, you know what I mean? And then the thing about it is you're going to talk about manpower. You're going to start talking about manpower.
True that.
So if manpower is the case, then you do 2 games at a neutral site. You do 1 game, hour break. Do another game, give people time to clear out. If you need to go disinfect, whatever you need to do. Sanitize, whatever you need to do. Get them out of there. Whole new group come in. You know what I mean? This group you guys can't enter the gym until this time.
Yeah. That's no different than what they do at the end of sessions anyway.
Each session.
You know what I mean? Go clean up, recharge you if you ain't got your pass. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? So to me, there's no different.
I like
that. I watched Louisiana State Championship online. As soon as they did 250 people, they had about, one team had about 100 fans, the other team had, I think they did the tickets evenly.
Yeah.
This get this.
Right.
And it looked empty. But them kids was hooping.
Got to get it done, huh?
They was hooping. And then the team never won a state championship ever. They won a state championship. But you looking at, them not being able to play. Those kids never get that opportunity. Those kids never get that, that time to spend with their family and with their teammates, So I think it can be done. I think they just have to, somebody has to step up and say, let's just knock this out, man. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
And I thought
afraid of the reparation.
I thought the easiest time to do it was when it first came out.
Yeah.
That was the time. We talked, what's today, Wednesday?
Basically, it's Tuesday evening.
It's Tuesday evening?
St. Patrick's Day, goddamn.
Could be done.
That was 5 days ago.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm sitting around Saturday with the itch, like, man, we could be dancing right now, possibly. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it just wishful thinking because I ain't running nothing. You know what I mean? So I guess we got to sit back and see how it plays out.
I'm gonna sit back and just like my daughter's at home. They talking about they can't even get in the gym. She's just like, man, I gotta do something.
Sick, man.
You know what I mean? And
golly. But hopefully we can rise up out of this and,
we
get
will,
back to business as usual.
We will.
You know what I mean?
It'll play out, man. We're gonna play it sooner or later.
It always does, right?
We're gonna play it sooner or later.
Now we got to talk coaching, man. We talked about your playing career. We definitely going to circle back to the military experience on the back end. But was your first stint as a coach at Lawton Mac? And did you give it to me in chronological order? Is that how it was?
My first stint was at, my first stint really was just, I coached kids. I coached them. I came back from basic and stuff like that. And a guy named Josh McGee, he was out there. He was trying to get me into coaching.
True that.
And I told him, I said, man, I really want to, coach, man. I really want to get after,
right.
Work on some things. And so they had a really good 6th grade, like 3 or 4 really good teams in the city.
You talking basketball, right?
Yeah, I went and watched them. I was like, man, these little kids can play a little bit. So I went to every one of their coaches and was like, listen, man, I'm trying to build a team, because they weren't used to traveling here and going there. I was already used to that. I did that. I played that.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And, Coach Cook came in and helped me, and Tony Batchelor. So we got it all set together, man. And we were pretty good, Sure. And then so that was like my first stint of really being ahead of something.
Right.
Kind of.
It was your baby, huh?
Yeah, it was my baby. So then I talked to McGee. I was like, listen, man, I really want to go, coach high school somewhere, man. And he had just left Mac, so he called me and was like, listen, man, I'm gonna call Harrington for you, Kevin Harrington, and see if I can get you in. So I called Coach Harrington, and we just talked and. Kind of knew some of the same people. He remembered me from playing in high school and, stuff like that. And he just like, man, I want you to come to practice. Come see how you like it, whatever.
Right.
I go to practice and, a lot of the kids already know me from, hooping at the gym, and stuff like that. So I got in there and one thing led to another, And I tell people all the time, man, I grinded for 5 years, man. I may have made 2 G's in the 5 years.
Ooh-wee.
You know what I mean? 3, maybe.
That's a stipend for one season.
You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't that guy that was begging. You know what I'm saying?
They took care for the love.
They took care of me. I ate. You know what I'm saying? We went to hotels. I ain't had to pay for nothing.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? But stipend wise, I was considered as a volunteer lay coach.
That's
you know what I mean? And I treated it like I was getting paid like a head coach. Every day I ain't miss a day. I'm coaching. I'm getting after them.
And you were 20, 21?
I was
22 at that time?
I think I was 21.
When you first
Yep.
Year 1?
Yep.
Man, I know you were hungry then.
I was, man, I once, because he gave me that opportunity, to me, that was the big leagues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, because like I said, I was always passionate about coaching. That's what I wanted. I've always wanted to, one of the main reasons why I really wanted to coach is because I wanted to give other kids something I felt I didn't get. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
that getting recruited, you know, or somebody out there fighting for you to get recruited, somebody out there talking for you, somebody out there that's networking, that knows people. You know what I mean? That extra, which everybody, a lot of kids don't understand, you need that.
You do.
You know, you need that.
No matter how good you are.
The vehicles kids have these days, oh man, I wish. Me and my friends talk about it all the time. Man, I wish we had this. You know, we had older guys in our life that, you know, that loved us, that looked out for us, but they didn't have the knowledge. They didn't have a networking with schools and stuff like that we have now.
You only know what you know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they did with the best they could what they had. But I'm like, dude, I want to give kids an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to go play at the next level, to go do this, go do that.
Right.
You know, every year.
Especially if you got a kid that wants to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Now, have you ever coached a kid who had that potential but didn't necessarily want to play at that next level?
There's a couple kids I coached that just be like, nah, I'm done.
I'm done.
Like I
always ask coaches, do you coach those kids any differently?
No, I don't. I don't. I just.
So they still give it all to you then?
At the point of it is, as long as you out here working your butt off, giving me everything you got, I can't control if you want to do this at the next level or not.
True that.
You know what I mean? If you ain't got the heart for it, if you ain't got and there's some kids, man, are hell of players in high school that can't make it at the next level.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's just.
That's the reality of it.
It's just the reality of the monster. You know, it's the beast. You know, so at the same sense, I'm not going to coach him no different because he don't have admirations to go do something that he may have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Now, if you ain't giving me what you should give me, then I'm going to coach you a little different.
Yeah. You got to deal with that wrath.
Yeah.
Two-face, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, when you were at Mac, what was your role? Do you remember what your role was when you first took over?
Man, I was the
utility man. What's happening?
1, 2, 3. I was a second assistant. It was Coach Harrington. Oh, wow. How did I do that? Who was with us?
Blanked out real quick.
Yeah, no, man. I was a second assistant.
Did you have a team of your own your first year?
My first year, I did not.
Okay.
I kind of dibble-dabble with the sophomore team.
Right.
But I helped, you know,
You were that floater, huh?
I was a floater, so I helped coach the sophomore team. Second year, they gave me a little more leeway. True. I was the head coach of the sophomore team, you know, but they had to have a coach on the bench.
True that.
But my third year, you know, I kind of got my foot in the door. I was really, like, coach started trusting me. He knew that I was a student of the game. You know, 'cause I sat back and watched a lot of what he did. You know, he was coaching 30 years. So I watched a lot of what he did, took some of what I already knew, you know, and just kind of studied the game, you know, some do's and don'ts of the game. Mm-hmm. So that my third year, you know, I became the JV coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when I became the JV coach, that was like the next level. Yeah. So now I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm the big dog now.
Big dog. I'm here.
You know what I'm saying? So
they ain't babysitting me no more on the bench? All right, I'm cool.
So that third year kind of really, that's when I kind of really was like, all right, here we go. Now I'm getting, you know, because, you know, when you that young, man, you want stuff like,
you do.
You
do.
I wanted, I was like, I'm about to be a head coach by the time I'm 25, baby. Let's go. Like, you know, I want it fast. Yeah. And then once I start getting in the game, then you start seeing how stuff really works. Mm-hmm. The back end of it, you know, the schoolhouse, all that stuff.
Yeah, running the program.
Yeah, running an entire program. Yeah. Being liable for students and players in that sense. You know what I mean? So once I got that JV, that's when I was like, okay, here we go. Coach Hoskins, how did I forget that? Coach Hoskins was the that's my guy. Sorry, Coach, if you watch this, man.
You know what I mean? He got a lot going on in there.
Yeah. So anyways, and he taught me a lot too. But so my last 2 years, you know, Coach Brandon Kephart came in. He was a big-time player at Mac, you know, so we was, you know, hand-to-hand, side-by-side. And then Coach Rod Fisher, my bad Fish, Coach Fisher was there with me too. And I got a lot more leeway then. You know, I kind of taught the coach, because Coach is 1-3-1, baby. That's what he did, 13 defense.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? I was like, Coach, we need to start working on some shell. Like, we got to be able to mix it up.
Yeah.
Like, everybody know we coming in 1-3-1. They preparing for 1-3-1.
Yeah.
So if all I got to do is worry about your defense, I know you weren't with. So my entire week or 2 or 3 days, whatever I had to prepare for you, all I'm doing is working on 1-3-1.
That's it.
I'm like, Coach, if we throw something else at them, like I'm telling you, it's gonna take us to another level. So then he started. I put in man, Kephart. We started running man. You know, Fisher helped us with man. Then I put in 2-2-1 Georgetown.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we started running 2 or 3 defenses, and then we hit them with that 13, then get up out. So it started
keep them off balance. They don't get a rhythm.
Oh man, you know, and it started. You know, so that year we make it a state tournament. We beat Colorado to go to state. We lost to Western Heights. Western Heights beat us at the buzzer in the area championship. Then we beat Colorado the next night. We get to the state. We went to the
in that back against the wall game.
Yeah, and we put it on them. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
we put it on them.
Was that y'all's first trip during your tenure there?
During my tenure year, our first trip to the state tournament, man, it felt great. You know what I mean? So then, you know, after that, my 5th year was my last year there.
Right.
Which was Quentin Parrish's senior year.
True that.
Then I left and went to Tulsa.
Went to Tulsa. How did that one come about? Did you have a plug down there?
Josh McGee, the same guy.
Okay.
He told me, because after my senior year, I was playing AU ball with him, still thinking about, you know, continuously playing. Mm-hmm. And he's like, man, listen, man, because, you know, I like to talk. You know, when I play, I like to talk a lot.
True that.
He's like, man, you're going to be a hell of a coach one day, man. He's like, man, I'm tell you what. He said, I'm going to keep up with you. You know, so a couple years later, he got me that job at Mac. He saw what I was doing, how I was working. And he's like, man, I need you to promise me something. When I get my first head job, you got to be my assistant. I said, I got you.
Straight up.
He calls me. He's like, man, you won't believe it. I said, what? He said, man, I'm getting the job. He said, you can't tell nobody. You know, I'm going down there tomorrow, it ain't for sure. So he goes down there, he gets the job.
Right.
And I'm like, so he don't tell me where it's at, nothing. So he's like, I said, where is that? You know? He's like, Nathan Hale.
You like, huh?
What? I ain't never heard of,
you know, heard of that.
He's like, it's in Tulsa. So me, I'm ecstatic. I'm like, man, let's go.
Let's go. We ready.
You know, in the back end, I got a wife, 2 kids at this time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, man.
You ain't ran nothing fast.
You know what I'm saying? And my wife is, man, she a rider, man. Like, I know a lot of men say that, but she been through it all with me, man. So she's always been there with me through my times of wanting to pursue this. She knew, you know, she's always like, and it kind of throws me off a little because sometimes she don't give me her real answer. Yeah. It's the answer she know I want to hear.
And you know it, huh?
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, babe, you know, I really want you to do this. Like Tulsa, looking back at it, it was a blessing, bro. Like, God put me through that for a reason.
Yeah.
But it probably was a bad decision to make at that time. You know what I mean?
Logistically,
I
feel it.
Terrible. You know what I mean?
Terrible. He went from bad to terrible.
Yeah, you talking about, man, this is end of May, early June, when he tell me about this. I'm in Tulsa in August. You talking about somebody 23 years old.
Yeah.
Like, my bread ain't like that.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Bread ain't that long.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just now finishing college.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you were coaching in school and at the same time?
Yeah. I'm just now finishing. So I'm like, man, she in school, working. We got 2 kids. You know what I mean?
Oof, yeah.
Actually, I'm tripping. We had 3 kids. Michaela was born right before we left to go to Tulsa.
Ooh.
We had 3 kids. I'm tripping. We had 3 kids.
So how'd y'all work that? Did y'all go as a family?
And we went.
Okay.
Man, I took out a loan. You know what I mean? And I convinced, I was like, babe, listen, man, I don't know what it is about this. I feel it. Man, I think this is what we got to do. I said, I gave him my word. I was like, let's make it happen. You already been caught. She been talking about she wanted to move, you know what I mean? So we ended up doing it, man. You know, I went up there. You know, that's why I tell you my grind is different, man. I went up there, you know, didn't have a job. I had the coaching job.
That's it.
I had the coaching stipend, didn't have a job in the building yet.
Didn't have a day job yet.
You know what I'm saying? None of that. You know, got down there, sealed a nice home, you know what I mean? Decent price. Wish the loan helped with that. You know
did y'all rent or y'all bought?
We rent.
Okay,
we rented.
okay.
I wasn't ready to buy nothing. We rented.
You say, boy, he jumped off the porch early if he bought.
Boy.
He that guy.
We rented. And it threw us for a loop because, you know, we came from, you know, when we was in Lawton, you know, our mom and dad owned the house. So we was staying in that house. We ain't had to do nothing to pay, you know, bills here and there. So I was living a good life then.
That's right.
You know, I'm making 3-4 paychecks.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Money went a longer way there, didn't it?
So I get there, no job, nothing, man. Like just on a prayer and a grind, man. And I got there, and God willing, man, I ended up sealing a job in the building as a special ed para, you know, paraprofessional, which only got paid, I want to say $11 an hour, $11.25, something like that an hour. It wasn't nothing major. Right. You know what I mean? Enough to survive with. You know, she ended up pulling the job at a daycare, which kind of helped us a little bit, but we had a baby, so half of that check went to the daycare bill. You know what I mean? Just because you worked there don't mean you get a free ride.
I swear I was about to be like, yo, y'all got a plug in.
No.
Damn it,
so,
man,
it's just the grind. It was tough, man.
Yeah.
You know, but working for McGee, man, he taught me a lot. He was real militant to a sense of not disrespectful, but to a sense of like, we got to do this how we got to do, bro. We went 1-22.
Damn.
And I mean, I'm in the gym every night till 9 o'clock at night. Every single night.
Oh.
I mean, skill working.
That's a real grind,
bro.
Dog.
Skill working, taking notes down, filming. He a talker too, so we talking. We losing games. We in the office in there, half sleep,
down
trying to figure out. You know what I mean? Trying to figure out how we gonna turn the program around. You know what I mean? So that grind right there that I went through for that year at Hell in Tulsa. You know what I mean? That's why I said everything happens for a reason. You know, especially in my life.
Yeah.
You know that grind. You know, and then.
But you were loving it though.
Oh,
doing what you love.
I love
Couldn't get enough of it.
Kids, man, I fell in love with. I talk to them every day still, man.
Straight up.
I love them. I love them to death. You know, and just that relations I built there will last forever. You know. Then I was blessed to get another job at a charter school, which paid me a salary.
There you go.
So you know, I'm there thinking like, oh, here we go.
You talking about the following year?
The end of the first year.
Okay, end of the first year.
The following year, you know what I mean? So now I'm like, okay, here we go. Everything falling into place, you know what I mean? And like I said, I had some lows down there. You know, I had a kid, Jerry Nolan, that I brought with me from Lawton. You know, been knowing the kid forever. You know, just part of personally, he was a part of my family.
True that.
You know, before he moved down there, and he came with us, and you know, and got into a situation where they tried to red flag me for recruiting. Yeah. You know, he had already been there for a whole year. You know, set out, played JV.
Was this at Hell?
This is at Hell.
At Hell, okay.
Got the okay from the, you know, at the time, she was the OSSA president. You know, but she was the district's athletic director at Tulsa at the same time.
Oh, Stephanie Springs?
Stephanie Springs. You know, and she got in some trouble.
Yeah.
You know, but I had email after email. I had the full document of, you know, before I even moved, you know, him from, you know, the situation he was in.
True that.
You know, putting him in a better situation, trying to get him groomed up, you know, trying to teach him. And I had already talked to her about everything. She told me straight up, like, he's good to go. He can come. You know, I showed her, you know, all the documentation from his mom, everything.
Man.
You
know,
so
he was in your custody then.
Oh, yeah. I got there and it just, but at that time, Tulsa was going through so much recruiting stuff.
True that.
You know what I mean? So when it got red flag, man, it was hell, bro. You know, it was hell. So at the end of it all, I went to a couple meetings and kind of gave my whole spiel. He gave his whole spiel. Letters was written. And I'm thinking this is a no-brainer. I got every document from the person that's ahead of everything. Yeah. Stephanie Springs, name is on it.
Right.
I'm good. I'm just following what the boss is telling me I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. I'm walking straight.
I'm young. I'm walking straight. I'm thinking I'm doing everything right. You know what I mean? And at the end of it all, man, they ended up suspending me for a whole year, you know, which is cool with me. I said, man, you know what? I can take it. It is what it is. I'll take the punishment. You know, because with me, I can fulfill what I do, my grind, doing something else.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I'll go volunteer at the Y and coach a little team or something to keep me going until I can get back to what I've been trying to do.
Right. And you giving back.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't bother me.
Right.
Not one bit. But what bothered me was, you know, they suspended me, you know, that year, but they also suspended him. You know, which kind of, you know, it was tough. But in the same sense, you know, from their standpoint, you know, coming in, you know, they were new, you know, new administration. Yeah. I couldn't understand what they would had to face. You know,
the climate was messed up.
The climate was bad.
I remember that.
You know, so with them coming in trying to clean everything up, you know, it's tough.
That's true.
You know, it's a tough situation. So I never really, you know what I mean? I never really had any hard feelings towards them. Didn't really, you know, I was confused.
Yeah.
You know, I was confused. I was hurt by it. You know what I mean? And
end of the day, that kid lost a year.
You know, at the end of the day, so I put him, you know, he ended up playing at Noah for a little bit, and then ended up going back to Lawton with his mom, you know, to save her the rest of his career, you know, and, you know, do things, you know, down there. But, you know, for me, that whole situation just rejuvenated my grind, man. Like, it kind of just threw me back into a situation like, you know, doing what I'm trying to do. It can be taken at any moment.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So that kind of, because I was in a situation where I was like, man, I was on top of the world.
Yeah, you were riding high.
I mean, because I knew what it was going to be. You know, we had Spider coming back. Butter didn't even play, which is Jaren. Butter didn't even play last year. Butter coming in with all three of our guards coming back, and we had a kid that just moved in named Derek. Derek, he just passed away not too long ago. Rest his soul. Yeah. He came in, so I'm like,
we're gonna be all right.
Oh no, we're gonna be more than all right.
More than all right. We're gonna be solid.
Oh, it's on.
It's on.
You know, so that grind, I knew it was gonna come to. You know, so when that happened, and then they didn't even let him play. They didn't even let Derek play, you know, which
sucks too.
Then I was kind of like, man, are they pointing the finger at us? Like, man, what's going on? I'm like, man, like, so all that, you know, because I got attached to him.
Right.
You know, I'm already attached to them. These kids are like brothers, bro. Like, they every single day at my house, somebody's house together. Right. You know, he can't play. So everybody, you know, and I'm like, I can't coach. So to me, it was like, man, why'd I move down? Yeah. So now it's to the point to where it's like, dang.
Everybody got the seatbelt on.
Yeah, everybody got seatbelt on.
Golly.
You know what I mean?
Man.
So Tulsa was great, man. Looking back at it now, man, I wouldn't change it, bro.
Right.
I would every bit of it. You know, even the times I couldn't go to sleep. Mm-hmm. The times, you know, I wonder, am I supposed to be doing this? Are you telling me this is what you don't want me to do? Is this why this is happening to me? Right. You know, all that stuff, bro.
How was the home front at that point, man? You know, was
my
wifey hanging in there tough?
Nah, she was ready. She was done.
She
was over it, man. She just, you know, and I don't blame her, man. Like I said, she do a lot of things for me, man. Like she knew my passion, my grind, right. And she knew what I wanted.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So she was like, man, this is my husband. I'm gonna be with him. This is what we gonna do. You know. Then when it got to that, like she never really liked Tulsa like that, anyways.
I feel it.
You know what I mean. But thing about it was good for the kid. Like we had tons. We did so much stuff. I don't think we did as much of that stuff we do now. Like we. You know, that kid parts. That's the first person I've ever seen with like a kiddie pool, a whole pool for little kids.
Hey, straight up,
we got that pool.
That's the whole town, baby.
Bro, I said, man, that's one thing I say about Tulsa, man. It's tons of stuff for kids, man.
Kids to get into.
Like we did all kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
And they ate it up, didn't they?
She loved that part of it, but but when that hit the fan, man, it was just she was done with it, bro. It was
let's get on back.
And she was like, let's get on back, and it was just situation after situation. But, you know, I got blessed to go coach at Tulsa Noah. You know, Chris Wallace looked out for me.
I remember old Wallace.
You know what I mean? So that right there, now I'm back at it.
Back.
You know what I mean?
You have a different appreciation for it?
Yeah, oh, definitely, man. You know, I got back to my grind, and Chris like, man, you really grinding out here. Like, I'm moving. Like, I told him, I said, man, I'm trying to get back into it. You know, because they, you know, I went back to try to, you know, go back, you know, to hell. And they was like, man, we got to have a meeting just to make sure everything's good. And I was just like, all right, I understand that. And then when I left that office, I was like, I'm not going back.
Yeah, you already knew.
I knew in my mind, like, I'm not gonna put myself through that. You know, even if they do allow me to come back, I don't want no ill feel. Like I said, they did their job. They did what they thought was best. Yep. You know, so I was like, no, I ain't gonna do that. You know, and I had an opportunity to go coach at Broken Arrow. You know, right after Noah. You know, I was gonna go Broken Arrow. That fell through, which is crazy. That broke my heart right there. You know, I met the AD.
Who was the head coach at that time?
Bo Wallace.
Bo was still there?
Bo's first year.
That was his first, okay, yeah.
You know, so
I know Bo's still there. I wasn't sure when his first year was.
Chris kind of plugged me, so Bo was bringing me in with him. And, you know, and I met the AD, everything. We talked about it. Basically, you know, the whole deal. Basically, I got the job. You know, so at the charter school I was working at the time, you know, it's like a classic. You know, so I had to figure out my schedule to get, because we went to school all the way to 4:15 at this charter school. So I had to figure out my time to come in early, you know, to keep making the same amount of money I was making before.
That's right.
So I could get off at 2:30 to get to practice. You know what I'm saying?
Making them sacrifices.
You know, so she made it happen for me, you know.
Yeah. A
couple of days later, come back, I get a phone call, you know, we can't extend you the job no longer, you know. Which personally, I think they probably found somebody else, probably somebody more qualified, you know, that's been coaches. Because it was between me and another guy, you know, I don't know what happened, but I heard the other guy took another job, so I figured, you know, it's mine.
Yeah, it opened up, baby.
You know, so that happened. So now I'm back at the bottom again.
Damn. Trying
You
to
know what I
figure out
mean?
where to go next.
And Chris is finna leave Noah.
Right.
You know, so there was talks about maybe me taking over Noah. You know, I don't know. But that old phone rang.
Yeah.
And Lenny Burt was
Lenny
on the
Burt.
other line, man.
Shout out to Coach Burt.
Yeah, man. So that day, I didn't get that job, and I want to say that was my son had football practice. That was a Monday. Wednesday, Lenny called me.
Right.
He said, "Hey, man," he didn't know nothing about what was going on.
That was gonna be my follow-up question. Like,
Nothing.
did he get wind of you being a free agent?
Nothing.
Wow.
You know, he thought I was still at Nathan Hale. I had already been at Noah for a year.
Right.
He thought I was still at Hale, and he was just like, "Hey, man, I'm telling you right now," because when I first got to Hale, I'm talking to him. He's like, "Man, if I know you was looking for a job, you could have came here." But I was like, "Man, I can't leave. I'm already in Tulsa. We already moved, took out loans and all this."
Yeah, we
so he
locked
called me.
in.
He's like, "Man, listen." He said, "Man, I got a spot opening up." He said, "Get your butt down here." The next day, took off work, suited and booted, on the road, sitting in the office with Buster Meeks.
Straight up.
The rest is history. Glad to be